package, Lower Manya NDC calls for resignation of Attorney General Godfrey Dami over what they say is causing financial loss to the state in an ongoing $134 million judgment debt slapped on Ghana by a UK court upheld by another in the US. Marego TV sheds light on the plight of residents and passers-by at Okwenya in the Lower Manya Krobo municipality of the eastern region over the absence of street lights along the Okwenya-Akosombo highway. And in business, government insists proposed tax reforms will improve domestic revenue tax collection. You are sure to get details of this and more within the next 30 minutes. If you stay with me, please let's have a date. Follow Marego TV on all social media platforms, including X, Facebook, etc. at Marego TV. I am Sena Alormene. The details of our stories this hour. The Lower Manya Krobo branch of Opposition National Democratic Congress is calling for a resignation of Attorney General Godfrey Dami for the resignation of the Attorney General Godfrey Dami, accusing him of causing financial loss to the state. This demand follows a UK court award of $111 million judgment debt against the government of Ghana related to the termination of a power purchase between the government and Trafigura, a power generating company. Although the judgment was handed down in 2021, it resurfaced recently after Trafigura took the Ghanaian government to court in the US over unpaid arrears. Attorney General Dami has argued that the finance minister is to blame for not fully paying the amount, raising questions about the responsibilities of both officials in such cases. However, David Walter, former chairman of the NDC in the Lower Manya Krobo municipality, insists that the Attorney General cannot absolve himself of responsibility and must resign immediately. He made these remarks during an interview on Marego Morning Dew with my colleague Charles Akofi. Here's a News Desk report.
The judgment debt initially handed to Ghana by a UK court in 2021 had to resurface due to the government's failure to fully settle the amount. This prompted Trafigura to pursue the matter in a US court, which subsequently issued a default ruling. The government has initially paid $1.8 million to Trafigura as part of the full debt, but later reneged on its commitment. Commenting on the situation, former Energy Minister Kwabena Donkor, under whose administration the contract with Trafigura was signed, criticized the government's failure to pay the full amount, accusing it of pursuing self-service interests in terminating the contract.
The Attorney General, being the advisor to government, being the lead player in the settlement negotiations, etc., has a responsibility to bring to the attention of the Ministries of Energy and Ministries of Finance the breaches that were perpetuating even against the settlement agreement. And with this, it is only right that the Office of the Attorney General is brought to book. $111 million is not chicken feed. It is serious money and can do a lot in education, can do a lot in healthcare delivery, can do a lot in power supply, in almost every facet of our national life. $111 million. Who is the lead advisor, the chief advisor to government? Which office? In fact, the Attorney General's office is one of the few, if not the only one I remember, specifically mentioned the Constitution of Ghana. That is how critical that office is. It's so critical that the Constitution specifically mentions the Attorney General's office. And therefore, if you are the legal advisor to government, if you represented Ghana at the arbitration, you also have a responsibility to ensure payment.
However, Attorney General Godfrey Dami insists he is not to blame, stating that the Finance Ministry had already been advised to make the full payment.
After the entry of the arbitral award, which is final, the only obligation left is for the state, which is the judgment debtor, to pay. So it is a failure of the government of Ghana to pay this judgment debt entered in January 2021, which has led to repeated applications in various courts by GPGC. You remember that about some few months ago, our High Commissioner to England, Papa Wilson Ankuma, was actually on radio mentioning the seizure of some assets and all that. And that was settled in such a way that the assets were released from attachment. The government of Ghana subsequently paid some amount of money, but it was not in full settlement of the judgment debt. So the judgment debt is still outstanding. So the explanation for the failure to pay now does not lie with the assanger, lies with the Minister of Finance. It is actually a matter between Minister of Finance and Minister of Energy. And as far as I'm concerned, any role to be played by the assanger did not happen in my time or tenure as assanger.
However, the NDC in the Lower Manyakrobo constituency, which has been vocal about the issue, argued that the Attorney General cannot absolve himself of responsibility. Former constituency chairman David Walter has said that a future NDC government will hold Godfred Dami accountable.
That's why somebody is a candidate for jail. The former Attorney General, Gloria Kufu, honorable. In fact, that woman has no question to answer. For a long time, even when Godfred Dami was a deputy, he was the hatchet man of the wicked Nanado Baumia government.
In the other hand, Maxine Walter, a member of the regional MP communication team and the direct brother of David Walter, disagree with.
He wasn't the main person when the issues started, when the case started. There was somebody, he was deputizing. He knew there was some payments that need to be carry on to the end.
You're talking about the former energy minister?
No. I mean Godfred Dami, knowing about the case, knowing about the story. He knew payment was started because there was judgment already. All right. Little did he know the finance ministry couldn't proceed and complete the payment. That is why in the first place there was no representative or any defense in the U.S. court.
Meanwhile, the Attorney General has confirmed that one of Ghana's iconic commercial buildings in the United States, Regina House, has been returned to the state after being seized by Trafigura due to the country's default on the $134 million judgment debt. The judgment debt initially handed to Ghana by...
Continuing with issues concerning the constituency, Marego TV is highlighting the dangers posed by lack of street lights along the Okwenya-Akosombo Strait. Both residents and commuters have voiced their concerns about the risks they face when traveling this road after dark and are urgently calling for the installation of street lights. In the following report, my colleague Charles Akrofi explores just how perilous it is to walk along this road at night without proper lighting.
It's 7:54 p.m. and I'm heading home from work. I walk about 150 meters to the main Okwenya junction from where my workplace is located to catch a vehicle home. But this is the situation. A pitch dark road with speeding vehicles posing a serious danger to passers-by and residents. Every night, as my colleagues and I walk down this road, fear grips us. We constantly ask ourselves, what if we are attacked by unknown assailants? What if one of us is hit by a car? These are the questions that run through our minds as we carefully navigate the narrow roadside.
Well, so this is how the place looks like at night. It's very dark and it poses a lot of danger to people who walk around, especially residents who live around this area. That's the Akuse Junction area. And I'm supposing that it's difficult for you to actually see me in the video, but for the light from this car, which has just passed by, you wouldn't have been able to see my face. And of course, this is the concern by many residents here at Akuse Junction. They are saying that it is important that government provides street lights along this main Akuse Junction, Bon or Akosombo.
Residents say they live in constant fear and are urging the Lower Manyakrobo District Assembly to install street lights to ensure their safety.
I'm walking right now. The place is totally dark and I'm afraid. I close from work, but I'm afraid that someone can snatch my bag or rape me. So please, if you people can help us and give us street lights, we will be very, very happy.
My main problem here is we are lack of street light at the Akuse junction here. Because here is a main junction, and when you get to the junction, that is the 4 junction. From that place, heading towards Pong is a highway. And the way the vehicles used to speed here is very dangerous. Even though there is no street light and other thing, even along the roadside is very bushy, and there are some sap trees that are germinating just close to the roadside, and there's no street light. So if fortunately you are walking in the night, and before you realize you are even at the center of the road. And if there should be a street light, if someone is coming or the driver is coming, you will see that, oh, there are people living here. So whenever they are coming, they saw that the whole place is dark. They just overspeed. Most of the time we encounter a lot of accidents, car knocking people here, and I'm very, very, very angry.
2 times a day, right?
12 hourly.
The lack of a police station in the area only heightens the fear among residents and passers-by. The nearest police stations are in Pong or Akuse. So, what happens if someone is attacked on the spot by unknown assailants in these areas? The answer seems all too obvious. Charles Akrofi for Marego News.
This is still Marego News at 6. Coming up next, business. In business tonight, the government is standing firm on its proposed tax reforms, insisting that they would lead to improved domestic revenue collection. Minister of State at the Finance Ministry, Abna Osei Asari, has stated that the reforms are necessary to boost the country's revenue and ensure sustainable economic growth. According to Osei Asari, the government tax reforms are aimed at simplifying the tax system, broadening the tax base, and enhancing compliance. She emphasized that the reforms are not meant to burden taxpayers, but rather to create a fair and efficient tax system that will benefit all citizens.
Urging people to comply with these taxes. You don't necessarily have to increase taxes, but then you broaden the base. Once you broaden the base, if you broaden the base and you even tweak your taxes downwards, it can go a long way to improve and then raise revenue. So that is what we are focused on this time, promoting more of efficient measures to increase the taxes. And that is why we want to hammer more on the digitalization aspect.
Tax policies must therefore be flexible enough to grow and optimize tax revenues in tandem with private sector development. These policies must be simple and easy to understand by everyone and all of us. As we look into the future, as a revenue authority, the Ghana Revenue Authority, we believe that the future tax policy should focus on the simplification of tax handles.
If you have a true national tax policy, that national tax policy will drive the tax agenda. And hence, if it is something that we put in place and every government has to respect it, we will not be getting changes in our tax regimes based on the whims of any given or new government.
Insurance practitioners are stepping up their corporate social responsibility efforts by aiming to donate over 50,000 units of blood to save lives. Acting Commissioner of the National Insurance Commission, Michael Kofi Andor, announced this initiative as part of the industry's commitment to giving back to the community.
Last year, and as you heard the Chief Executive of the National Blood Service say, we need 200,000 pints of blood. So I think the minimum we could do is 5,000. So I'm really hoping that at least we'll make 5,000 pints this year.
Blood is life, and all of us, the reason to donate blood should be the reason to save life. I will encourage everybody to donate. Listening to the CEO of the National Blood Service, we need about 200,000 units of blood a year. So I will encourage everybody to donate blood.
1,203.
Yes, we'll be back after a quick commercial break.
Welcome to Gloria Rego Shopping Mall with Different, where a variety of local and imported goods are sold. Items like cooking oil, sauces, beverages, assorted body soap, shower gels, toiletries, body creams, beauty facial wash and creams. Items for oral hygiene like charcoal toothpaste, toothbrush, and mouthwash. Talk about perfumes, look nowhere. We stock original design perfumes of all ranges. Come select your choice. We sell household cleaning items. Items like toilet cleaners, room freshener, toilet freshener. We also have baby products. Products like baby napkins, diapers, baby wipes, body lotion, baby creams, and baby powder. To place an order, you can WhatsApp us on any of the line 0548 49 3522 or 0248 242861. Thank you.
I lift you higher.
Are you thirsty and in need of well-purified water to quench your thirst? I recommend Glorious Natural Mineral Water, produced through reverse osmosis to the highest quality. This highly purified water is perfect for any occasion, being it wedding ceremonies, parties, funerals, engagements, and many more. Contact Glorious Natural Mineral Water on 0548 493522 or 0503 130395. We produce in bulk quantities, so just let us know how much you need. We are located at Bon Ahunjo off the Temakosobo Highway and Dakuman, Nyamiche, Abeche Street. Glorious Natural Mineral Water, so refreshing.
Welcome back to our last story tonight, and still on road issues. And data from the National Road Safety Authority reveals that road crashes tend to spike during election periods, largely due to widespread disregard for traffic regulations. At a forum in Accra to launch the road traffic code for political activities, there was a strong call for political parties to incorporate this code into their campaign strategies to help reduce fatalities during this year's election. My colleague Charles Akrofi was at the event and reports.
The forum was heavily attended by various stakeholders, including the police MTTD. There was also representations from the Electoral Commission, or reps from the Electoral Commission, the Peace Council, and the various political parties in the country. And what the National Road Safety Authority Forum seeks to do is to actually bring to the fore some of these road carnages as regards the election period. Now, what the argument has been all this while is that these road carnages or these road crashes that we're talking about happen because of the blatant disregard for our road traffic regulations during the electioneering period. So ahead of the 2024 polls, the National Road Safety Authority has launched a code of practice for the various political parties as far as the campaign season is concerned. Now, it is for the various political parties to adopt this manifesto or this code of practice into their manifestos and to guide their operations whenever they are going about doing their campaign. They make the point that whenever it is the election season, you see these vehicles belonging to political parties and political figures and party faithful speeding here and there. And so they tend to disregard the laws that govern road or the road traffic laws in the country. So this has come to the fore also because of when you read the WHO's 2023 report status, or that's the status reports on road crashes, it says that during election period, these road crashes account for about 3 to 5% of Ghana's GDP. So the whole issue has a rippling effect when it comes to governance of the nation at large. And so this code of practice has actually been launched to serve as a guide for the various political parties and party faithful to, you know, to bring to the fore or to remind them that, look, it is an election period, and so even though stakes are high, you must exercise restraint whenever you are using the roads and what have you. So the forum was heavily attended by...
And that's by way of Marego News at 6. Do connect with us on all socials at Marego TV. And for more news, log on to www.maregotv.com. I am Sena Alormene. Many thanks for your time.